This is Fox 18 Sports Sunday in high definition.
Hi, and welcome back to Fox 18 Sports Sunday. I'm now joined by a couple members of the St. Ambrose Esports team. We got Michael Menegas, sophomore team captain here, and then we got Alyssa Duran, the Overwatch coach. Thank you both for coming in. Join us here on Fox 18 Sports Sunday. Alyssa, we're going to start with you. Esports is becoming a huge thing around the United States and around the world, really. For people like me that don't know a lot about esports, can you explain it and what is it?
Yeah, so I usually describe esports, especially at the collegiate level, as another sport or program under athletics. So we offer scholarships to players or students to come to college, get your major, come study, but your extracurricular is that you're coming and you're dedicated to a video game. So you come in, you practice, and you compete against other teams just as you would any other sport.
It's a growing thing. Almost 500 million people watched esports in 2020. What do you credit the growth to the sport?
The growth of the sport, I really credit to, I guess it's accessibility. Anybody can get involved in esports and video games, whether it's on mobile, on PC, on a console, and you can watch it from your house. You can live stream on Twitch, on YouTube, and you can watch it right there at home, and you don't have to go somewhere to go and watch it, and it really connects to, I think, youth nowadays because they get to play those games too, and it's just another avenue to make friends and compete.
You're coming off the Battle of the River with Augustana, a competition where you played Overwatch against Augustana. What made you want to start the Battle of the River with them?
Yeah, so we have actually been in contact with Augustana, trying to dream up a LAN, so an event where we come in person and we compete against each other. We've been trying to plan an event like that for probably a couple months now, and we actually got to meet the Augustana program director, Joe, at an esports event for program directors and coaches, and we said, well, let's actually make this happen. We have a big game coming up. It was our last NECC league game, so let's do it in person. We have the space to do it at Ambrose. It's 12 players in all. That's pretty easy to accommodate. Let's meet the players. Let's build that community. It's post-COVID, so we can actually come in and meet. Before COVID, programs are still pretty small, maybe in their club phase, so now we actually have the infrastructure and the ability to have an event on campus, and so we wanted to meet the other players and really foster the connection between the collegiate programs, because the closer we are, the more we can collaborate and start helping high school esports programs or whoever wants to get involved.
Now, what made you want to get into coach esports?
Yeah, so I was actually a player for the program during St. Ambrose's first year of the esports program, which was the 2018-2019 school year. I was a freshman and I joined the program as an Overwatch player, and I've loved it. It's such a great community on campus. It's something fun to do. You're competing, you're playing video games. How can you not love it, right? But so I just worked my way through, up as a player. I started as a player. I had a position as an educational assistant, so I helped with study hall and the academic sides of things, and then I ended up being the team captain, and this year I graduated in December, so I decided to make my way up and take the coaching position.
Now, what do you think the most challenging part of playing esports is?
The most challenging part of playing esports is probably the mental game of it, which is very interesting. I have noticed, I've played other sports growing up. I played tennis, I played softball, and the mental side of esports is bigger than I think any other sports that I've really noticed. You have to have your head in the game because you have so much going on in a game, the sounds, the audio cues, you have your teammates in your headsets talking to you. You have to be able to take in all that information, think critically, remember what your strategy is, keep a good head level, and continue playing your game. And that's what makes a good player stand apart from a great player.
Now, Michael, we're going to come down to you. Speaking again, we talked just a minute ago about the Battle of the River. How special was it for you to be a part of that with Augustana? And I remember talking to you earlier in the week about this being only the third time in person that you guys have gotten to compete since COVID. That's got to be pretty cool as well.
Yeah, it's probably one of the coolest things that you can do in for esports is be able to play in person and just be able to see the other team that you're competing against, and it's a great way to outreach and get involved with other people in the community as well.
What's some of the best relationships have you made through esports?
My team right now. I mean, our entire program, it's just super special. Everyone's super friendly. Unlike I played high school sports as well, I feel like when I walk into this esports room, I can talk to anybody. They don't have to be on my team. I don't even have to know them. And everyone's just super friendly, and it's just a great environment.
Other than kind of the relationships that you've built with your team and other people that are playing against, what's some of the other parts that are really great about being on an esports team?
Comfortability. I don't have to go out in the heat or freezing cold weather.
That might be the best part of anything.
Exactly.
Right?
I can sit in my chair in my room with a blanket on, got my drink next to me. I can just relax and be able to focus on the game.
Now, do you usually have a drink or a snack with you when you're playing? And if so, what is your go-to drink and snack?
My go-to is Mountain Dew, of course.
Okay. Is it just regular Mountain Dew or is there Code Red?
I go with every flavor, honestly. It depends on the week. I'll go to the store and get a different flavor. But Mountain Dew is my go-to. Of course, water. And my go-to snack is a honey bun of anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the big ones?
The big jumbo iced ones.
Okay. You got to love that.
Perfect.
All right, you guys put a lot of work in. You don't just show up and play a video game. You put as much work as any other athlete in any other sports. You practice, you have meetings. It's not just show up and play. Can you tell us what it takes to be really good at esports and all the stuff that you guys are able to do to be able to compete?
It takes a lot of dedication, a lot. You have to put many, many hours in a week. There's tons of aim training just normally. In-game practice without your teammates, and then queuing up with your teammates separately. Not even talking about our team practices, our team VOD reviews, where we go over the games, and just so much dedication goes into this.
Talk about the strategy as well. I know, Alyssa, you mentioned some of that, but you as a player right now, what's some of the strategies that do you have to have for this?
It's a lot of brain work. As someone once quoted to me, Overwatch is like a big game of rock, paper, scissors. There's different compositions. There's double shield, there's poke comps, there's brawl comps, and there's a lot to go into. What can I do to counterplay the other team, and how can I outsmart them and hopefully be able to get that advantage back on our side.
Now, are you superstitious? Because a lot of sports guys and ladies are superstitious before they play their game. Are you superstitious about anything?
I would say I am superstitious. I have a very strict routine before we go into games that really puts me in the zone to where I know I can do everything that I can. If I fault any of that, then I know that, well, I'm not going to be playing top notch.
What is that routine?
So my routine starts almost 3 hours before our scheduled time to even show up. I begin warming up on the game, listening to just relaxing music, and starting my meditation process. And then after that, I head down to the esports room, meet with a couple players, kind of stay away from the game for like 30 minutes or so, go grab dinner with them. And then I come back downstairs. I lock myself in a room, actually, and I put headphones in and I meditate for another like 15-20 minutes just to get like really mentally ready for what we're about to do. And then I go into the game. I really don't talk to anybody for the next hour, and I just play the game and get ready for our match.
I want to thank both of you for taking the time out of your Sunday to join us here on Fox 18 Sports Sunday, and good luck the rest of the season. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to check in on the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Illinois Illini on spring football. That's next on Fox 18 Sports Sunday.